Generally, people know that there are 9 planets in astrology, which is more or less very true. Two are the luminaries, Sun and Moon. Two are the shadowy planets, Rahu and Ketu. And remaining 5, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, are the planets. But are these 9 factors the only factors which are considered in prediction? The answer is largely no. If you take into consideration the complete pantheon of astrology, you will come to know that there are actually 19 planets or 19 factors of different categories which are to be used in making predictions. Now, the basic point is that 90-95% of the astrologers, 80% of the astrologers don't know about them. 90-95% of astrologers don't use all of these 19 factors in prediction. And this is the particular reason the prediction of astrologers fail, remain short of the reality, or the prediction is not very comprehensive. And because of this particular reason only, almost in 99% of the cases, prediction is a hit or miss. I generally say one thing to my students that astrologers become happy when their predictions come out correct. I become worried when my predictions don't come correct because prediction coming correct is a day in and day out thing for me and all of my students as well. Every day, at least 3 to 4 feedback I receive of a prediction getting correct. This comes with the certainty in prediction, right? We know that what we are predicting because we know that everything taught by sages we are using and there is nothing that we are missing. This comes through proper knowledge of astrology, and proper knowledge of astrology will come from proper learning of astrology, right? That's the basic point. And this is what I wish to achieve in all of my courses, right? To give proper, complete knowledge to my students. That is the differentiating factor between my students and any other person who have learned astrology from anywhere. Because the knowledge that you get from me is extensive, complete, and based on research and experience, right? Talking of the 19 planets, you see, I have made a previous video on Gulik, which very few astrologers use. Now, in the same line, I am going to introduce to you a new planet factor that goes by the name of Dhuma. So, Dhuma is basically an Aprakash Graha. Aprakash Graha should basically mean non-luminous planet, right? This is found by adding 4 Rashis, 13 degrees, 20 minutes to the degree of Sun. So in fifth Rashi and the fifth Navamsh from Sun, there will be the position of Dhuma. Right. Calculation is very simple. Add 4 Rashis, 13 degree, 20 minutes to the degree of Sun. And the resultant Rashi will have the placement of Dhuma in horoscope. This Dhuma, which means smoke, is a very bad, very problematic, very troublesome planet. And more or less, you can conclude that whichever house Dhuma sits in, whichever planet Dhuma is conjoined with, he will destroy and turn negative the significations of the planet and the significations of the house. With respect to planet, it is largely true. With respect to house, it is not. As I told you, Dhuma is a very malefic planet, right? Sarva Vinasha Karo Dhuma, right? Dhuma destroys everything. So whichever house Dhuma is situated in, he will completely destroy the house. So much that if Dhuma is placed in 7th house, it will destroy marriage. Generally, the person is unmarried. It does not mean that the person is a celibate or sannyasi. Generally, in the horoscopes of celibate and sannyasi, you will not see Dhuma in the 7th house because Dhuma does not only destroy the house, it also gives negative tendencies as well. So these are the Dhuma in the 7th house are the people who are not married, or I will not conclude not married, suffering in marriage, marriage lasting for a very short period is also the result with Dhuma in the 7th house. But this is not because of celibacy or spirituality, but it is because of the destruction of the 7th house. And because it is the destruction of the 7th house, such people are often seen in extramarital affairs, running behind spouses of others as well. So the point that I'm trying to make, that until and unless you consider these special planets, great predictions cannot be made, right? Otherwise, a normal seventh house or an empty seventh house, you don't see Dhuma in the seventh house, you will not make this prediction, which will turn into a bad prediction. In the case where the seventh house, seventh lord, the significator Venus is good, and Dhuma is there in the seventh house. Now, Dhuma in the seventh house is only the seventh house getting afflicted. The house lord and significator is still good. So more or less marriage will be there and marital life will be good, but not very good, which you will say otherwise. Because of the Dhuma in the seventh house, marital life will have much issues and troubles. And the result of Dhuma in the seventh house of person running behind spouse of others, having extramarital affairs, etc., will also be the case, which you will fail to predict if you don't consider Dhuma, right? That's my basic point that I am trying to say. Now, regarding Dhuma, as you should have understood so far, or if you have not understood, just understand it by my word, that Dhuma is a very malefic planet, Dhuma is a very malefic planet, whichever house or Rashi it is situated in, he will destroy the Rashi or house. Now, as it happens with every malefic planets are good in Upchaya houses. Third, sixth, 10th, and 11th house, malefic planets are good. So Dhuma is also good in these houses, and apart from that, Dhuma is also very good in ninth. In other houses also, Dhuma have some good qualities, but largely bad qualities only. Now, result related to Dhuma, I will tell you in the video. Result related to any other planet, like in other videos, it is available. You can also know. But you see, practically, what I have found from teaching students is that, one is a theoretical approach, right? A teacher is teaching theory only. Such astrologers don't look at horoscopes. I, being a practicing astrologer, because I see horoscope each and every day, I know what one can remember, what one cannot remember, right? The result of all the 19 planets in all the 12 houses, in all the 12 Rashis, one cannot possibly remember, right? So there have to be a formula which should be taught to the student. Right? There you have to devise a formula because result apparently you cannot remember, right? So simpler point is that because Dhuma is a very malefic planet, whichever house it is situated in, he will destroy the house. That's the basic simple point. The same thing will go with planets also. Now, regarding houses, as I told you, Dhuma in third, sixth, ninth, 10th, 11th house is an exception. Here, Dhuma gives good result. With respect to planet, it is not so. So when Dhuma is situated with a planet, he will destroy the signification of the planet. Dhuma is with Sun. There will be problems in childbirth because Sun indicates lineage. So problem in continuation of lineage. Problem with governmental people, problems with authoritative people, problem with father will be there, problem in gaining name, fame, status will be there. There will be obstacles in life. Dhuma goes with moon, mental instability, mental tension, depression, and mental issues it can give. It will give a bad mind, bad mentality to the native. Longevity can be decreased. Moon is the significator of longevity. Bad health it will give. There will be lack of sustenance in life. Mother can suffer. Comfort, happiness, contentment will be lacking in life. When Dhuma goes with Mars, there is trouble because of litigation, court cases, siblings, fights. Right? One can also meet with very unfortunate accidents and it can cause loss of a limb because Mars indicates being handicapped. Dhuma goes with Mercury because Mercury indicates intelligence, lack of intelligence, mental problems, mental issues, mental troubles will be the case. There will be troubles from relatives. There will be difficulty in learning, difficulty in getting education, implementing the plans and ideas to better the life of the native. There will be difficulties in these areas as well. Apparently, these are all the significations signified by Mercury. And what I am only saying is that when Dhuma is with Mercury, the signification of Mercury is destroyed, and the significations I'm just taking, right? That's the basic point, right? My students or those who have been following my videos since long will be able to understand the basic formula behind whatever I am saying, right? As a teacher, my advice to you will only be to take the basic formula, understand the basic formula, remember the basic formula, right? That's the basic thing that you do in astrology. When Jupiter goes with Dhuma, lack of intelligence is there. Person may have very good ideas, implementation fail. Person have bad experiences in life, but he do not learn from the experiences and repeat the same mistakes over and over again. Mental trouble, mental issues are there. This can come from, this can go all the way from schizophrenia, depression, lunacy, all up to the level of encountering ghosts and other paranormal things in life as well. But that depends on the level of affliction, right? Every person having Dhuma with Jupiter will not get all the results, right? They will get a few results. Which results they will get and which results they will not get should be decided based on the fact that the Dhuma Jupiter combination is happening in which Rashi and which house, right? So no prediction given anywhere is going to match 100%. What will happen and what will not happen should be decided based on the Rashi, house, Navamsha, and other divisional charts. That's the basic concept. For example, Jupiter with Dhuma in the fifth house, because fifth house also indicates intelligence. The problem related to intelligence, or Dhuma with Jupiter with the fifth lord, or where Jupiter itself is the fifth lord, then the problems related to mind, intelligence, childbirth is more prominent as compared to other problems, right? That's the basic thing. Dhuma with Jupiter, there will be problems in childbirth. For woman, there will be problems in conception. The person will feel unlucky. Generally, worship, going to temples and spiritual remedies will need a lot of effort and it will not work as quickly as it works for other people. There will be difficulty finding a guru, and generally person gets in way with those gurus who are only there for cheat, and in the process loses a lot of money and trust when Jupiter goes with Dhuma, right? Dhuma with Venus, there is difficulty in marriage, difficulty in relationships. The person can be forced to remain celibate, does not want to. Bad experience in relationship, marriage, torture, harassment, etc. is the result. Sexual power is weak. Childbirth, for in male horoscope, childbirth is also difficult. Luxury comforts are lacking in life. Contentment, happiness is also lacking in life. Generally, such people get the effect of aging very early in their life. And health is also weak because Venus indicates depletion of vitamins and minerals from body. Dhuma with Saturn, generally the person is cheated by servants, opposed by people, hated by people, troubled by government and senior authorities, and generally loses a lot of money because of family members, court cases, litigations, and fights with people belonging from the lower start of society as compared to the native. Dhuma with Rahu, the person can be cheated very badly. Problem from paternal side of the family will be there. Deception, theft, accidents, misfortune are the negative results that the native will face. Dhuma with Ketu, there is problem in childbirth, problem in continuation of lineage. The person is not understood by people, even family members. The person is opposed by almost everyone. Everyone is jealous of the person. Person suffers a lot of obstacles and hurdles in their life. They are generally cheated by Guru and meet with those people only who want to misuse the native. Generally, they don't have good friends and supporters in their life. Such people are also very diseased and generally are very much having a weak constitution in body, and they very much catch diseases very easily if Dhuma is there with Ketu. Right? This is with respect to planets, and as I told you before, based on the Rashi and the house where the combination is happening, and based on the significations of the house and significations indicated by the Rashi and Rashi Lord, which result will happen, which result will not happen, and how prominently the result will happen should be decided. More the affliction, worse the result. Lesser the affliction, better the result is the basic formula. Now coming to houses, when Dhuma is going in Lagna, as I told you, there are good and bad results both. So Dhuma is going in the ascendant, native is valiant, native have beautiful eyes. These two things are there. These two are the good qualities. Apart from that, native is also stupid, unkind, wicked, and short-tempered. In stupid, you should understand that the native does not learn from his experience, repeats the same mistake over and over again. And no matter how good advice or thought he have in his mind, he don't implement it. In astrology, also understand one more thing, that bad results are told so that person consciously by his choice avoids the bad result from manifesting. That's why you are getting to know about the bad result. So make sure you do it rather than being disappointed. Being disappointed will not help you. Dhuma in the second house makes you wealthy. That is the only good result. Apart from that, the native is sickly. Loss of body part because of accidents, wrong medication, etc. will happen. Humiliation from authoritative people, people in government will be there. The native will also be delivered, slow in learning, slow in implementation, does not implement on ideas and good advices will be there, and there will be problem in childbirth, problem in enjoying sexuality, right? It will also lead to delayed marriage and bad marital life as well. Dhuma in the third house, as I told you, this is a good house for Dhuma. The native is intelligent, the native is very bold, courageous, is delighted in life, have all the sources of comfort and happiness. The native is also very eloquent, have many servants, and have good amount of wealth. Dhuma in the fourth house, the good result is that native is quite learned, very intelligent. Native grasps and learn things very easily, and despite not having formal education, the native is very intelligent and almost expert in everything that he is interested in. The bad result is native is generally forsaken and cheated by their spouse. And this being forsaken by the spouse or being cheated by the spouse shakes the native so much that he is not able to go into another relationship for the rest of their lifetime, or it takes a lot of time to recover from this cheating. Right. So being cheated by the spouse, being forsaken by the spouse is the main bad result of Dhooma in the fourth house. Dhooma in the fifth house, there is limited number of progeny, so very little plus progeny, only one child, no child is there. Loss of pregnancy, abortion is also the result. Abortion is a major bad karma. The native is also devoid of wealth. Native eats anything without discrimination. Native is bereft of friends and supporters. Native is also bereft of mantra and divine favor. Now, this thing, Dhuma in the fifth house, is also in the horoscope of Swami Vivekananda. So, as you know, limited progeny is there, right? Because Swamiji was sannyasi, he was having no progeny at all. Devoid of wealth because he was a sannyasi, ascetic, he was not into accumulating wealth. Eats without discrimination is very much true for Swamiji. Bereft of friends, being a sannyasi, he should not have friends. That is all well and good. Bereft of mantra and divine favor was not the case with Swamiji, because I take Capricorn ascendant for the Swamiji. Dhuma is there in fifth house, but the fifth lord, that is Venus, goes to ascendant with Mercury, where Mercury becomes Digbali, and Mercury is the lord of ninth house. Now, because ninth house indicates divine favor, ninth house indicates divinity, and the lord of the fifth house going with Mercury gives him intelligence. And Mercury being the ninth lord conjoined with fifth lord gives the combination for spirituality and grace of God as well. So because the fifth lord is making the combination of intelligence, getting grace of God, and getting initiated into mantra, grace of God is a initiation into mantra is a result of grace of God, right? So because of this particular reason, all other results of Dhuma in the fifth house is applicable, but the result of bereft of mantra and divine favor is not applicable, right? This is how you make the analysis. Anything taught anywhere by myself or anyone cannot be taken as patthar ki lakir, right? Cannot be taken as one and the only statement. That's why astrology is a science to be learned, right? It is a shastra which is to be learned systematically and applied systematically. This is what you have to learn, that each and every part of the result will not be applicable. It will be modified. Now you see, Dhuma can be situated in only 12 houses. So the complete world population will have 12 type, one of the 12 type of results of Dhuma is nonsensical to say, right? So based on the result of planet is there, and the result of the planet is same for everyone, but which result will be applicable out of a bunch of results and which result will not be applicable should be decided based on the Rashi house and the placement of the house lord, as I have just explained to you. So this is basic astrological understanding and should be very clear in your mind. If you forget it, then you will never be able to become an astrologer. And any person who is interested in getting their horoscope read only or getting predictions for themselves only, I have no hopes for them to progress in astrology. They should better take a good consultation and not try to learn astrology at all. You want to learn a science, learn properly the way it should be learned. Right. Coming back to our topic, Dhuma goes to sixth house. Sixth house is a good house for Dhuma, right? So native is very strong, physically strong, generally not much diseased. Right. The bodily power is much. If even if the native gets disease, he will quickly overcome the disease and will become well and fine. He will be able to conquer his enemies. Native will be very brilliant, very intelligent, very famous, and free from any kind of disease. Dhuma in the seventh house, native will be poor, will be sensual, will be running behind women of others, will have extramarital affairs, etc. And the native will not be very brilliant also. So all these people, we think that this person is having no virtue but still having many affairs, etc., are generally the people with Dhuma in the seventh house. As I told you, this is a very secret formula that Dhuma in the seventh house deny marriage, but this denial, once again, as I explained with the horoscope of Swamiji, this denial should be analyzed along with the seventh lord and Venus as well. If Venus is powerful, seventh lord is powerful, seventh lord is aspecting the seventh house. In all of these cases, certainly denial will not happen. Seventh lord is powerful in Navamsa, certainly also denial will not happen. Seventh lord is good in Navamsha, then happiness from marriage can also be the case. Will also be the case. In that scenario, when the seventh lord is good in Navamsha, because happiness in marriage is the case, then Dhuma in the seventh house only indicates that native have extramarital affair and runs behind the woman of others. In other cases, when the seventh lord is not good in Navamsha, but the seventh lord is powerful, influencing the seventh house, Venus is also powerful, influenced by good planets. In that case, native will be married. That marital life will not be good. There will be sufferings in marital life. Marital life will be short lived. The person can be separated quite quickly. Right, as a bad result of Dhuma. Now, depending on how strong the seventh lord is, how strong the Venus is, and how much are the good influences over the seventh house, Venus, and seventh lord, whether second marriage will happen or will not happen should be predicted accordingly. But because Dhuma is there in seventh house, and Dhuma being a malefic planet destroys the result of the house, in any case, no matter how many number of marriages the native goes into, because Dhuma is there in the seventh house, there will always be dissatisfaction, bad result, uncertainty, and problems in marriage. And because this combination is happening in the horoscope of the native, certainly the problem is because of the native. Dhuma in the eighth house, native is bereft of courage, generally timid. Being timid is not a problem. The problem is that native does not stand for even those things which he should rightfully defend. Right? So this cowardice is the problem. Apart from that, native is enthusiastic, native is truthful, that is a good result. But the opinion, thoughts, acts of the native is not very good, is disagreeable, and is something that good people should not follow. The native also does not have a very good heart, and native is generally mean, selfish, and want to misuse others. If someone is having this quality, it is coming from Dhuma in the eighth house, and you should try to improve it. That is the point. Dhuma in the ninth house is a good house for Dhuma. Native have many children. Native is very fortunate. Native is rich, honorable, kind, religious. Native is well disposed towards his relatives and is supported by his relatives as well. Dhuma in the 10th house, native have many children, right? Continuation of lineage is there, name, fame, status is there. Native is fortunate, delighted, happy, have all means of comfort, enjoyment, and convenience. Native is very intelligent, native is very happy, native is very truthful, native is very contented as well. Dhuma in the 11th house, native is endowed with all the type of things that people want. Multiple properties, multiple vehicles, lots of wealth, resources, ornaments, good fashion sense, etc. will be there to the native. Native will be beautiful, charming, attractive, and with Dhuma in the Lagna or the 11th house, generally people of opposite gender will be running behind the native to just get a glance of native or be in relationship with them. So the chances of corruption is very high. In both of these cases, the person is highly successful only if he does not give much attention to, the people who are running behind him. Because if the native becomes corrupt, they will do bad kriyaman karma, and as a result of bad kriyaman karma, the result of good karma will decline and the result of bad karma will come. And in these cases, the good result of Dhuma in the 11th house will be destroyed and bad results will prevail. That will be no wishes and desires getting fulfilled, right? Poverty and the native being disgraced, and obstacles and hurdles coming in life. So, though Dhuma in the Lagna generally gives bad results only, so I'm not talking about that. Right? Dhuma in Lagna in the 11th house, many people run behind the native, but native should be truthful to their spouse and in their relationship. Only then the good result of Dhuma can be enjoyed, otherwise not. Native also knows different type of arts, music, singing, dancing, etc., and can do well in them also. Native is also very skillful in singing. You see, any planet in any good planet in 11th house, 11th lord strong gives a skill for singing. Such people, if they focus on singing, music industry, they become very successful. Music is indicated by music, songwriting, lyrics, etc. is indicated by 11th house. Dhuma goes to 12th house. The native is morally fallen, indulges in sinful acts, interested in the wives of others, spouses of others, and runs behind them while ignoring their own spouse. Will be addicted to vices, will be unkind, and will be crafty. Generally, addiction to vices, bad habits, drinking alcohol, etc., comes with malefics in the 12th house. If the malefic in the 12th house is good, it is all okay. If the malefic in the 12th house is bad afflicted, then such vices can also ruin the native. So accordingly, the advice should be made, and anyone having a malefic in the 12th house that is in a bad condition, afflicted, etc., in bad namamsh, such people, they will be into vices, but they have to make sure that they control their vices with maximum of their willpower. Otherwise, once the corruption and problem starts, it will, the native and others will not be able to undo it. So this was the result of Dhuma in concise. My basic point in this video was there are planets like Gulik and Dhuma which astrologers are not using in their prediction, and because they are not using in their prediction is not becoming comprehensive, sometimes become incorrect as well. The example for which I have given you in the starting of the video. Apparently, you are watching my video to learn more about astrology or to explore your own horoscope. You want to learn about astrology, then take note of Dhuma. Take note of all the things that I told with respect to Dhuma and how to analyze the horoscope, and use it in your analysis to improve your analysis to a better level. If you are watching my video to analyze your horoscope by yourself, then mark the position of Dhuma in your horoscope, house-based position, conjunction, etc. of Dhuma, and find the result, check the result, predict the result accordingly. But keep in mind that only those results will come to pass that are supported by the Rashi and the house. One more thing is there, like I have, like you say, I have exemplified it, I have given a hint about it in between the video, but once again to say it very explicitly, if Dhuma conjoins with fifth lord, then because fifth house indicates intelligence and children, there will be problems in childbirth. The native can be dull-witted. Dull-witted means the native is not able to learn things very quickly. There will be problems in education, and most importantly, whatever native learns by experience, they don't implement it, and because they don't implement it, they face difficulties in life, and generally person takes a bad decision only. Such people, despite knowing that this is going to be problematic, pursue the same thing, which is a sign of native being stupid or dull-witted, right? So this was about Dhuma, and I believe that after watching this video you will make note of the position of Dhuma in horoscope and will make predictions accordingly, and will improve your level of prediction. Now, regarding, yeah, one thing is there. In Jagannath Hora, the position of Dhuma, etc., is very easily calculated. So when you open Jagannath Hora, see, this is the Rashi chart that I have here. Now on this Rashi chart, you can right click. You can go to choose a view which bodies to show, and you can go to Upagraha view. This will give you the position of Dhuma, which is represented by DH, which is in the 8th house, Libra, right here. You can find Dhuma here, or in the planets also, you can go below. And as you go below, you will find Dhuma, which is at 22 degree Libra, 08 minutes, Vishakha Nakshatra, first pada, Libra Rashi, Aries Navamsh. Right. So to find Dhuma and where Dhuma is situated in your horoscope, you can use Jagannath Hora. It will help you. To know the calculation of Dhuma and about other Aprakash Grahas and Upagrahas and how they work, I have written an article back in 2018 by the name of Upagraha and Aprakash Graha Introduction, which is available on my website www.shubhamalock.com. You can go to the website, search for this article, which is on page 2. But of course, as I write more articles, it will go at some other page. Right? The article is there. You can read the article to know more about Aprakash Grahas and Upagrahas and how they work. I have written 2 articles. One recent article is also there where I have explored a horoscope of Swami Vivekananda and have tried to underline the importance of how Prakash Grahas and Upagrahas work. That's a recent article, and this is an old article which basically deals with calculation of Prakash Grahas and Upagrahas, but also have many major hints on how to interpret them. You come to website, you come to this particular page, you click blogs, you have my articles. This is the recent article, Blessing of Non-Luminous Planets, where I have talked more about Aprakash Grahas and Upagrahas. If you open this article, you will get the link of the previous article as well, Aprakash Graha and Upagraha introduction. Right? I have two webinars on Aprakash Graha and Upagraha as well. As you know, my classes are generally 2.5 hours, right? So these two webinars on Aprakash Graha and Upagraha have some more than 5-6 hours of content on Aprakash Grahas, so Aprakash Grahas and Upagrahas and how to use them in analysis of horoscope. So if you're interested in learning more about Aprakash Grahas and Upagrahas, you can consider joining the webinar as well. All the webinar and courses you can find on my website under the tab of webinar and courses. And if you're interested in consultation, then you should go under the consultation tab on the website. That will help you. Right? Thank you for watching.